answers in the text, in the script. So even in the scenes where there's about 4 scenes in both films, there are slight changes. So I was very keen, like, okay, why do I say this instead of this in my film? And for me, that was a roadmap on how each character should be played. So I created Eleanor first to know exactly, truly who she was in my mind. With James, how they met, the backstory, the child, the wedding, all these things. And then for Connor's perception of Eleanor, I thought, well, how can I help move his story forward? Which was so fascinating as an actor, because it becomes then completely about the other person and about the other story, which actually I loved. And so with that, I made her slightly colder, inaccessible, definitely more mysterious. Things that would then propel him in the way that he thought she was.
Thank you. I didn't know there was a second script when I signed on, if I'm being perfectly honest. And that is not me trying to be funny. When I was first sent it 4 years ago, there was no second, there was no her, there was only what would then become him. There wasn't. Well, it wasn't sent to me. But there wasn't. 4 years ago? We'll talk about this later. We'll talk about this later. I got sent the script 2 years after I turned it down. He came back to me, and I went back to my old emails, and there it was. I said, of course I'll do it. In the intervening couple of weeks before we started shooting, both Ned and my agent both said something about, the other movie, and I was like, I don't know what. Anyway, so I turned up on the first day of rehearsals, and I got the first hard copy of the script that I'd been given, and I was like, fuck me, that's thick. And I thought, well, maybe they're just using one side of the sheet, And then I was like, no, holy fuck. And I styled it out, and I was like, yeah, let's go. So I did read it during the read-through, but after that I tried, as we were reading the read-through of the second movie of her, and it wasn't the second movie, but it was the second movie at the time, her, when we read it through, I was trying to not really listen to it, because what you don't get from the combined movie as much is that him and her, and him, the disappearance of Eleanor Rigby, is alluding to the fact that it's a mystery in the him movie. She really has disappeared for most of the movie, and he doesn't know where she's gone, and he's trying to find her. And I didn't want to know where she was and what she was doing. I wanted to be sort of blank to that. Of course, I've read my own scenes, as all great actors do. And but that was it. I tried to stay as distanced from what was happening in what was it, Connecticut, as possible. But again, when you're playing someone else's idea of you, it was kind of liberating not to be the sort of custodian of your character's through line, your character's integrity, your character's making sure that the story is told. It didn't really matter, because it was there, you were there to serve someone else's journey, and that was kind of great fun.
Perfect place to end. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight.